In the last lesson, we determined what the manufacturing cost of your product would be. And that number was a conservative number. It's conservative because if you take the manufacturing cost and then add your expenses and add your profit and then mark it up from there, you're going to get a lower number than if you took the $359, say in the example, and subtracted the 45%. So if you took this smaller number, which was $159, and added your $5 to that, and then added 10% on top of that for a distributor and 40% for a retailer, you're going to get to a value less than $359, our retail price. But the point is that that difference is relatively small because you're going to have expenses that you're not accounting for today. And having a small cushion is going to help you retain profitability and account for expenses you may have later down the road. One type of expense that occurred when I was developing a robotic lawnmower was a distributor had different requirements in different countries. So for example, I had to print manuals not only in English, but also in French when you're selling a product to Canada. That was an example of an unplanned, unexpected cost, but it's part of doing business. And it's a good problem to have, knowing that you have that cushion. In the first module, we answered the question, are you going to make money with your product? Who are my competitors and what do they charge? What should be my market price for my product? What should be the manufacturing cost and not be dictated by other companies of what that cost should be? You're watching this video because you found out, yes, you're going to make lots of money in a good market with your product. And the sales goals that we set up in the last will help you with the numbers for manufacturing. Those are all great pieces of information to have when you go into manufacturing your product or even hire engineers to develop your product further than you can develop it now. In this module, we're going to cover the second phase of market research. It's knowing thy customer. Now in the first video, we introduced Facebook as a product development and market research tool. And we told you to go to Audience Insights and look up the big picture problem of what your product solves that people are interested in and find the number of people. Well, if you go back to Audience Insights and you start to look at the additional information that Facebook provides, these are all going to be engineering constraints for product development. Let's take a look at some of examples using the floor cleaner example from the first module. So when we look at Audience Insights for people that are interested in floor cleaning, there was 2 million people. And out of those 2 million people, according to Facebook, 72% of them were women. Which is important because women have different tastes than men do. And so when you develop a product, everything from the way it looks to the colors can now appeal more to women than it can than say a neutral product for men and women or a product just for men. So this is very important when you hire engineers or you develop a product, because now you know you're going to be developing that product geared towards women, right? Valuable market information on the first section there of Facebook. The second aspect of the information on Audience Insights was the age, okay, the age. All right, so then we looked at the age, okay? And in Facebook and Audience Insights, I saw that there was two pretty close percentage gains next to each other, and maybe a third one I could have considered. So for the electric floor cleaner example, there was the top percentage gainers were 25 to 44-year-olds. And maybe I felt like even including 54-year-olds in that category as well. Now, why is that important? Well, it's middle of the age in families. These are family-oriented people, or they're young professionals. They're not exactly retirees, and they're not youngsters. So again, when you're designing a product, you're going to design a product for not only women, but women of this age group. And they don't need, they don't have women of this age group are not going to have the needs of, say, retirees or elderly women who may have different design aspects, such as lightweight or bigger fonts or something like that. So different age groups have different needs, just like different genders have different needs. And this is all very important information when you're developing a product. Now, if you click over to the Household tab in Audience Insights, you get a good picture of how much money this audience makes. Okay, you can see in my example, most of the women had $50,000 to $75,000 a year in income. So that's a pretty good income. They could probably afford a $359 floor cleaning device. I probably wouldn't market to the lower end of the spectrum, people that made under $10,000 a year, because realistically, they probably just wouldn't be able to afford it, and therefore, I wouldn't waste my marketing dollars targeting that section of the audience, nor would I waste dollars designing a product to that section of the information as well. Okay, and then also the other metric that I saw is that most of everybody were homeowners. Homeowners really care about the state of cleanliness of their house. People that are renting may or may not care. They may have different arrangements, but homeowners are more often to buy appliances for their house and keep buying appliances for their house. Okay, now that you have all the information written down about your customer, as far as Facebook is concerned, we're going to go back and look at Amazon again, and we're going to take a closer look at those competing products. Matter of fact, I want you to pick out your three strongest competitors. Now, I know some of you, and some of you may be looking at me right now through that screen and say, I don't have any competitors. My product's totally unique. And 99% of the time, that's a wrong statement. That's absolutely false. And why is that? Because your product solves a problem, a big picture problem in a big category, in a big market. And people are solving that problem today not using your product. One of the ways they may be solving that problem is by ignoring the problem altogether and doing nothing, okay? Doing nothing is still competition to you, okay? But hopefully, you have relevant competition. And you have, at least three competitors, because what you want to do is you want to create the better product. And you don't want people to decide, should I buy your product? You just want them to decide, which product should I buy? Oh, right, I want to buy the better one. So you have competition, And I want you to pay close attention to your competition. Now, using Amazon as the example, we're going to look at those products, those competing products in detail. At a minimum, what we're going to do is we're going to write down those competing products' features, okay? All their features. So that means like their size, their weight, maybe their height, the horsepower that they have. There's going to be a list of features that they describe in the product details section of Amazon, right? Because that's how they're selling their product, all those features. So you're going to write them all down for all three competitors, okay? And you're going to look and see, why is the best product out there, your strongest competitor, so great? What features does it have that the other ones don't have? And maybe it just has bigger horsepower, or it's a lighter product, or it looks better. These are all features. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to read the reviews. You're going to read the product reviews for each of those competing products. And you're going to make another spreadsheet, another chart of these product reviews. I want you to kind of glance over and find a commonality of what people really like about the products. They may really like the competing product size. They may really like the color. They may really like the shape. There's something common across all the people that like it, that really like the product, okay? So we want you to write down the commonalities, okay? Because these are very important when we design your version of that product, okay? You're gonna wanna design those features in. It's very important market data. Now, even more important is you're going to write down everything that everybody hated. That's right. The bad reviews are a treasure trove of information, just waiting to be plucked and exploited in this war called business. That's right. Gloves off. This is where it's going to get really juicy. Okay? Every bad review is an opportunity for your product design to do better. You need to find what the bad aspects are, write those down, and make sure that your product doesn't have that bad aspect, and better is better because it doesn't have that bad aspect. Get it? Because when you go to sell that product, the reviews you're going to get is, it's better than the strongest competitor because it doesn't have these bad features that we all hated. Because you're not going to design a product and start a company or get any other investor or licensee involved in selling your product if your product isn't aggressive enough and better than the competing products. You're going to build a better product. And you're not going to build a product that plays nice with other products. You're building a product that is going to completely dominate the market and its competition. Okay? This is business. This is war. This is product development. This is your product and your money. The better your product, the more money you make. The more that people hate your competitors and like yours, the more money you make. So this is all about selling product and making money and making sure that you have enough information in the initial design of product development to facilitate that good product design, that low manufacturing cost, having the features that everybody liked, eliminating the problems that everybody else hated, and selling hundreds and hundreds of thousands of units of your product every year. A little work up front makes the design process that simple and that much more cost efficient. Some examples of bad features that I read for the electronic floor scrubbers were they leaked water. You'd be cleaning and water would come out. Others were it was too heavy. The motor was too heavy and it was just too heavy of a unit. Or some of the reviews weren't even product related. The products worked okay, but the support from the company sucked. We'll talk about support and how you could efficiently service your customers in a later module. Right now, though, we're focused on getting the product right. So now I want you to reflect on the information that we got today. To recap, what we covered is knowing thy customer, who your customer is, using the Facebook information to really narrow down the gender, the age, the household income, if they own a house or not, how they like to shop, maybe they like digital subscriptions, maybe they like to go to a store. All the information on Audience Insights is useful information that you can use in product development. Don't be afraid to print screen all of it and send it to your favorite engineering company or product development firm like Letsky Innovations, so that we have a very clear understanding of who your customer is and who we're designing the product for. We also taught you how to use Amazon to write down the features of the competitors. So you wrote down all the features of the competitors. You wrote down all the good stuff that people liked. You wrote down everything that they hated. And now you should make another column, the fourth column off to the right. And that should be your product. Feature for feature, you should go down and say, how is your product going to be better? Now, you don't have to make it better for every feature, okay? It doesn't have to, every feature of your competing product doesn't have to be better. It can have the same motor, it can have the same colors, same enclosure. There will be a lot of features that are going to be the same, okay? You want to add some really important value to the product to make it different, okay? To make it better, okay? So maybe it has the same horsepower, but like in the floor scrubber category, maybe the attachment for the floor scrubber is just 30% more effective at cleaning the tile floors. That warrants a cleaner floor and a higher price in the market. So you need to think what your invention, what your new product, how it's going to be better. And it may not be as simple as feature for feature. Maybe your product solves a problem in a unique way. So what you need to do is just say, okay, these are the existing ways that the competition solves a product. And my unique way is better because of X, Y, and Z. And that warrants the higher price as well. So as always, if you have any questions, please email us at info@letskyinnovations.com. We're happy to support you and help you out any way you need help. And thank you again for buying the lesson. I hope you understand that you're making money from your invention now, and that or you didn't make money from your you weren't going to, you shouldn't proceed. And you have all the marketing now. You have all the marketing information you need for product development. In the next module, we're going to teach you what to do with the marketing information so that you can effectively communicate to product development companies and other manufacturers what it is you want them to build, because that will save you money. I'm Mike Letsky, and I'll see you next time.